Okay, so when you're first getting started in real estate, you probably don't have any money. Most people getting started in real estate don't have any money. In this episode, I'm gonna teach you how to wholesale real estate with no money down. All right, in this video, I got several points to break down. I want to talk to you about how I went from a broke joke to failing my way forward to multiple properties, building an absolute empire of land and houses and a passive income that's changed me and my family's life forever. All right, it's 2007. I just got my real estate license. I struggled through that, had to take the course 3 different times. And 2007 finally got it, and I am a realtor, but personally, I wanted to be a real estate investor, and I thought I had to have a real estate license to be a real estate investor. So I was looking at deals coming across my table, and I took the trigger. I pulled the trigger on one of the first ones that came across my table. I just took action. So this was a house that I was buying for $123,000. My plan was to rent this house out, but I was actually gonna make money buying it because I am the buyer's agent. So on a $123,000 property, I'm gonna get about $3,000, 3% real estate commission for buying this property. But I had a problem. I had a challenge. I did not personally have the money for the earnest money deposit. So I'm very resourceful. I call great grandma because great grandma has some money, right? So I call great grandma, say, hey grandma, I'd like to borrow some money. I just got my real estate license, by the way, and I'm about to buy my first rental property, so I'm gonna be a real estate investor just like you. She owned a piece of land, and she actually had a small mobile home park. It was like 4 trailers, but she got passive income from it, so she understood it. And she said, no worries, grandson. If you don't pay me back, it comes out of your inheritance. I said, no problem. I'm going to pay you back because I'm getting a commission check for this. So I did end up paying her back with that commissions check. She didn't charge me any interest, thank God. She was a nice grandma. But I never saw that inheritance she was talking about. I think she was just trying to get me to pay her back. But here's the thing. I learned the ropes from buying that first property and failing my way forward. Now, 2008 happened, and I pretty much left my business. I had a lawn service, and I left that and moved to the coast, and I started trying to, keyword trying, buy and sell real estate for other people. Well, I didn't do very well at that. It ultimately ended up where I was driving people around to find rental properties. I would get there ahead of time and open the windows and turn on the air conditioners in South Florida. This was Daytona Beach and Boca Raton, Florida. It was like hot and muggy, and these houses would stay closed and they smell like pure wet dog. So I'd try and get there like 30 minutes ahead of time, spraying Febreze and Lysol and you name it. Turn on the airs, the fan, waving it out, hoping these people would just rent this house from me so I can make a $300 commission. Well, that sucked, and I didn't want to do that any longer. My grandfather had said, like, look, go back to school, join the military, they'll send you to school, and I did just that. So I joined the Army. I'm now overseas for 3 years. So I took a little break from real estate, did a couple combat deployments. I was in Germany for a couple years. Come back in 2013. Guess who's back in real estate? Me. So I buy a house in Melbourne, Florida, right next to Florida Tech, and I am now house hacking. I'm renting out the room, making my mortgage payment, plus keeping some of the money for myself in my pocket, and then I buy a second rental house, and I just keep rolling with it. So the video is talking about how to wholesale real estate with no money down, but I wanted to get you where I was at. I had purchased now 3 properties with no money down, and I was absolutely leveraged to the max. My American Express was maxed out. My Capital One was maxed out. My Home Depot car was maxed out from buying 3 properties and fixing them up and renting them out. This was the absolute slowest way to wealth I'd ever seen. And now I've got to pay for private school. I had some expenses due, and I've already deployed multiple times. I own 3 rental properties. I'm an adult. And I can't have bill collectors calling me. So I had to figure out a way to make some fast cash. So what did I do? I heard that wholesaling was easy. You didn't need any money, no money down, no credit. So I found an actual program called Propstream. And you can get access to this, exactly what I used, by going to landsharkslist.com. There's a link below in the description. And what I was looking for on landsharkslist.com or Propstream, I was looking for people that were not paying their mortgage, because who else would be more of a motivated seller than someone not paying their house mortgage? So what this list is called is a notice of default or lis pendens, L-I-S pendens, lis pendens, or foreclosure list, you name it. It might be called different things in different counties, but my county was notice of default. So I got an entire print off. I printed this thing off and I went address to address to address, and I was door knocking on these doors, and then I would also leave a sticky note. So the sticky note that I would leave on these doors after I would knock on these doors, and ultimately I started getting nervous. I wouldn't knock as loud, or eventually I just started putting the sticky notes on it, because like these people were aggravated when they answered the door. They thought I was from the bank or I was there to steal their house, and then I just started putting a sticky note on it, and that's all I did. I did about 10 or 12 of these and decided that it was time to take a break. You know, I'd worked hard enough for the day and I wish I would have kept going. But on the way home, I was actually going to see a friend, so I kind of took another path, and I missed 2 phone calls from the same guy. And I listened to the voicemail. He's like, hey, you left a sticky note on my door. Wonder if you're serious. So I called him back right away and said, hey, yeah, I'm serious. I'm your guy. I'd like to buy your house. He said, I have a week left until the bank kicks me out. Come over. So I drove right there. I brought my purchase agreement, and he said, you know, I don't know what to do. I've given up. I said, what do you owe on the house? And I don't know where these questions came from. He said, I owe $150. I said, great. Would you take what you owe for it? Because I didn't know what the house was worth. It was like in shambles. It was disgusting. I didn't think I was going to get much for it. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath house in Palm Bay, Florida in 2013. So I got it under contract right there on the spot for $150,000, went home and put it on Craigslist, $155,000. And I got a call the next day from an owner that's an agent for a title company. She actually owns the title company and she's a title rep. She goes, hey, I got a buyer. His name is Lou. He buys 4-bedroom, 3-bath houses. When can we look at it? So we took Lou over that same day. Lou said, I'll buy it. I could buy it in 6 days, no problem. And we got the deal done. From that first one, that was no money down, and it got me a second deal because another wholesaler in Sebastian, the next county over, got to see my ad on Craigslist and said, hey, looks like you have a buyer's list, and I have another property at $140,000. Would you be interested in co-wholesaling it? And I was like, absolutely, you called the right guy. I've got a buyer's list. So I had one buyer on my list, and guess who I called? I called that same title agent. I said, hey, do you think Lou's interested in this one? It's in Sebastian. We want $149,000. So Tanya was her name, the other wholesaler that brought me the deal. And Tanya had it under contract at $140,000. Me and Tanya had an agreement that anything we got over $140,000, we'd split. So if I got $2,000 over $140,000, so $142,000, we would both make $1,000, and I was totally cool with that because I was literally a broke college student at that time, and I had bills to pay. I had just made a quick $4,500 net profit on that first one that I actually left out, by the way, because I had a little bit of expense. I ended up giving the actual seller $600 cash in an envelope ultimately at closing because he thought he was getting nothing. The guy cried when I gave it to him, and it helped him out. It saved his credit, got him an extra $600 cash, and he was about to be kicked out on the street. But the second deal, I call Renee. She's the owner of the title company. I said, does Lou want this one? Lou doesn't buy houses in Sebastian, but I do. I would like it. I'll pay $149,000. I was like, great, do you want to look at it? So she looked at it. We got it under contract, did the deal. I got a $9,000 check. And I'm telling you, this is in 2013. I set out to go do those actual sticky notes and the door knocking. I am now closed 2 deals in 30 days time. My financial problems were over. So I had that $9,000 check. I wrote Tanya a check for half of that, which was $4,500. I kept the other $4,500. I had a total of $9,000, and it's funny because that's about exactly how much I needed to get caught up on all my bills. That is how you can wholesale real estate with no money down. I want to tell you about what my team looks like today, what we're doing today now. It's 2021, but before I do, I want you to smash that subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. I'm coming out with content 5 days a week, and I'm the landman, so I'm always giving people how to buy land at massive, massive discounts, how to wholesale houses, you name it. So you found the right channel. Hit that subscribe button. Let's go. All right, so what does my team look like today? I am proud to say I am no longer in the military. I've now had, pretty much designed my own lifestyle. I have a team of 7 people. You show me a business owner that's struggling in business, and I'll show you a business owner that's doing it all by themselves. As I'm filming this video right now, my team is doing business. I have a team that's just out there humming, and it's a great, great culture because we live to live and we do real estate deals to fund our living, to fund our life. I mean, we love real estate, but we also love living our life on our own terms. So a team of 7, we now have a business that we buy and sell land and houses. We've done over 280 something land deals now. We have over 100 notes paying us passive income, a monthly income of land that we have sold on seller financing to people, where we literally have buyers lining up to buy our land. And then we also flip houses. We wholesale houses still. And a lot of this time, it's still no money down deals. So nothing's changed. We just created a business around it that serves me, my family, and others. As everyone knows, the real estate market is absolutely exploding hot right now. So if you're looking to get involved, I've got a tried and true method that teaches people how to buy land at massive discounts and turn around and sell this stuff in your sleep to a buyer's list that's just ready, willing, and able and knocking on your door, ready to buy a piece of land from you. So if you're interested in checking that out, go down below in the description to the link, thelandsharks.com. Fill out the form to schedule a call with my team, and we'd love to talk to you.